Hi there, my name is Alana and here at Classy on the Run we love talking about all things beautiful. Today I am filming in my bathroom at my parents' house, and if you're not familiar with my channel, I have a broken foot and I'm in a wheelchair. So this, I guess, is a get ready with me in a wheelchair. I have to tell you, setting up to film this on my own was really hard. I've got like a travel ring light, got my vlogging camera, I've got 2 boxes, I've got the Prince Harry's book on a counter, and this is about the best angle and composition that I could set up. So if you're new to my channel, go check out my other videos for more of a sense of what my videos normally look like. But today we're just doing a really quick get ready with me, and I'm gonna be walking you guys through my recovery, my surgery, some of my thoughts that I have on gratitude and mobility and all sorts of things. So this is just a bit of a kind of catch up. I can't wait to be back filming reviews like normal, but until then I did want to share with you guys kind of what's going on. So let's put this look together. Okay, so it has been 2 weeks since my surgery, 2 weeks today, and going to some Charlotte Tilbury Magic Crew, and I am finally feeling up to sit down and film. So I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update on kind of what's been going on in my life, and I just want to say I really appreciate all of the really kind comments. So I love, by the way, just like the extra magic cream just rubbing in my hands. I really appreciate all of the really kind and thoughtful comments, or I shouldn't say comments, more like direct messages from you guys checking in on me. And so I thought I would just give you guys a little, kind of just like a little update. So the first piece of content I did film since my surgery was the Tarte brand trip parody. So I guess what I'll start with is that I've been living at my parents' house ever since my surgery. I decided to have the surgery at the hospital closer to their house rather than the one closer to mine, because I knew that I'd be off my feet for a while. Trying not to get too excited. I guess today's Sunday, so it's 2 weeks and a day ago. It's Sunday that I'm filming it. So tomorrow on Monday, I have a follow-up meeting with my surgeon. And I'm trying not to get too excited because there's like this little part of me that's really hoping I can get the cast off. But probably not. But I would also really appreciate it if they removed my cast and they put on a fresh one. So we'll get to kind of my cast problems. One thing I did order just before this all happened was the new Makeup by Mario foundation. So it's Surreal Skin Foundation, and I ordered it in the shade Too Neutral. Actually, my first time trying it. So I'm gonna try not to talk too much about the makeup, but there are some new products that I wanted to try. Anyway, so I've been at my parents' place. I'm filming this on my vlogging camera. And before Christmas, I actually bought myself this new little travel ring light, which I'm really impressed by. It's like, it's not like the same as my one at home, but it's really good. Okay, so we've got our Makeup by Mario. And I think I'm gonna bring this one on my cruise. So anyways, that looks good, looks glowy. Looks like the right color for me. As a bit of a recap in terms of my cast situation. So when I broke my foot, at first I thought it was sprained, but it was not, it was broken. So when I broke it, I went to, eventually after a couple days, went to Emerge. They put me in a plaster cast and it was really annoying. And then I met with the surgeon a couple days after that, and he basically told me that since we're doing surgery anyways, it doesn't matter how my foot sets because the surgery is going to be so soon. So he let me go into the air boot. Now the air boot is fantastic. I mean, look, I'm not like walking on hikes or anything, but I can like go to a store, I can walk around, I can move, I can just, I'm not really limited by anything. Anyways, so then I had my surgery, and when I woke up from surgery, I had a plaster cast, which is what I was expecting. I was hoping for fiberglass, and if it had been fiberglass, I would have got a pink one. But it was a plaster cast again. So the problem with plaster casts is they are, sorry, I'm just like doing this as I do my makeup. This, by the way, is really pretty and glowy. I feel like very like TikTok, I don't know, very like TikTok, like viral, like that kind of fresh glowy skin. This is really pretty. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going on the base. So where was I? Also, the other thing that's weird for me, no, we'll continue about the cast and then I'll tell you about my filming setup. So I have all my stuff here, so I have to like look over here to find where everything is. I do want to try this with like the Charlotte Tilbury contour ones, but this is just the makeup I brought to sort of play with and test at my parents' house. Although I will say it was only about 3 days ago that I put on makeup for the first time since this happened. It's just so much harder because I'm in the wheelchair, but we'll talk about that after. So anyways, plaster cast, really heavy, surprisingly hard on my back when I'm sleeping. Like feels like I have this like club attached to my leg, and every time I turn over it's just really hard and painful and uncomfortable. And so one thing I've started doing, so I can't do physio yet, but I'm very excited to be able to do physio. I know it's gonna be really important once the time comes, but what I have been doing is I have a RMT who comes in once a week and she's able to do house calls, which is great because it'd be just really hard for me to, like, I need someone to drive me, and it would just be, it's uncomfortable getting in the car. Like it's a whole process. So anyway, so she comes to the house once a week and really just focuses like a bit everywhere, but does a really great job of focusing on my back and hips because that's where I'm really feeling the strain of having so much added weight just on one side of my body. So that's been really good. I have to like tape a bag around it when I want to shower, so that's not fun. So that means I need a bit of help when I'm doing that. But the reason that I want to keep on using this Dior blush, I recently bought it and I've been really enjoying it. It's like the color changing one. I use that in my imaginary Tarte trip. Okay. I also desperately need to wash my brushes. Okay, so the reason I chose to have the surgery done at my parents' place, one, I find that they're just really fast in terms of wait lists, and there are some challenges in Ontario right now with like hospital wait lists and kind of all stemming from COVID. But also I think more importantly, if I did it at my parents' house, because I have to go to follow-up appointments like the one I have on Monday, then you can't really switch. Like whoever you start with, like you have to do all of your appointments with them. So I really weighed it, like kind of like weighed on the options. But I chose to have it done at the hospital in my parents' house because you might not know this about me. I don't really share this a lot, but my mom has major kind of mobility challenges and she's in a wheelchair. So my parents, before retirement, they had wanted to build like a dream house anyways. And so my parents' house has an elevator built into it. The hallways are all extra wide to accommodate wheelchairs. My mom has several wheelchairs because at different points she's needed different levels of support. So I'm able to use one of her old ones, which is like in great shape. It doesn't suit her needs anymore. Yeah, and also my parents have a accessible like stand-in tub. You just like, it's like a vertical tub almost. Anyways, that's how I've been showering. So it was, I think, the best place for me to kind of get the support that I've needed while I've been focusing on getting better. And the other advantage, you know, my husband still has to work, but my grandparents live with my parents. And my grandma, like, you know, I don't want grandma doing like a ton for me, but my grandma is able to, you know, do smaller things like bring me tea or pass me a phone charger or make me little snacks. Like she'll bring me apples and grapes and cheese and bagels and things like that, which is just, it's a lot harder for me to do. Now, technically, I don't have to be in a wheelchair. I could use crutches, but I found that when I tried using crutches, because that was kind of my first thought, I found that because it's so hard that I would naturally want to just put like a little bit of weight on my foot, and the surgeon really doesn't want me putting any weight on my foot. So I found the wheelchair's been a lot easier for me to get around and just honestly just a lot more comfortable. So on to how I'm doing. So at first I wanted to just say, oh, I'm fine, but like I'm not fine. And one thing I really want to be better at is not just saying, oh, I'm fine, because I think that, you know, I should say, like, not just like a stranger who's like, oh, how are you? Like, oh, I'm fine. But like with friends, right? Like I am not great all the time at kind of being open with my friends. Not that I like want to hide things from them. I don't mean it like that, but sometimes I'm not the best at sort of saying like how I'm really feeling, or sorry, I'm like looking for brushes. Or like, you know, because it's like in my mind, like I don't want to bother people. Like I don't want to bring people's day down. And even when this happened, I like didn't tell my friends for like 3 or 4 days, and they were just like, why didn't you tell us? And I'm like, oh, well, like I didn't want to like disrupt your Christmas. And they were just like, don't be stupid. So anyways, I'm trying to be better at being kind of a little bit more open and vulnerable with my friends, and I'm not the best at it, if I'm being honest. So I'm trying to be better at that. So when my close friends ask me, how are you? I don't want to say I'm fine, because like I'm obviously not fine. I had surgery on the top of my foot like 2 weeks ago. I'm not fine. But I'm also like, sorry, I wanted to do my brows before I keep going. Got distracted by talking about feelings. Okay, so I try not to say I'm fine, because like I'm obviously not. But at the same time, like I'm not dying. My life is not at risk. I'm not in agony. And so what I've taken to saying is I'm fine, all things considered, which is kind of my, I guess my way of saying like, given the circumstance, I'm doing pretty okay. And also saying I'm uncomfortable, because I think discomfort pretty much summarizes where I'm at. So I did get prescribed some pretty strong pain meds, which, don't get me wrong, were definitely necessary in the first couple of days, but I haven't really needed them for like, I'd say 10 days, like basically by the Wednesday, I want to say. I had this surgery on a Saturday. Maybe by the Tuesday, I was pretty much done with the bigger pain meds. And so I've just tried to not like need them, because it's like, to me, those pain meds are for when you're like not just uncomfortable, like you need to be in a lot of pain, in my opinion, to make those worth it. Whereas I've been doing just fine with like the odd Advil or Tylenol. I found that that's been really effective for me. And I found that that's worked for me. But like, I'm not like feeling 100%, you know, like I'm not fine. And so what I've been saying is I'm uncomfortable. So at this stage for me, what uncomfortable means is, one, I am sick and tired of the cast, like the pain in my back and hip from like wielding this thing around is not fun. Also, I'm glad I checked, because I definitely thought I grabbed my brow gel, and this is mascara, so that would have been bad. Okay, let's find my brow product. Okay, let's find my brow product. There we go. So yeah, so that part's bothering me. I haven't seen the scar on the top of my foot from the surgery, so I'm a little nervous to see that. I think I'm gonna, well, I guess I'll see it tomorrow. I think either way they're gonna take the cast off to look at how the scar is healing. So I'm kind of morbidly excited to see what it looks like. A little nervous. I hope it's not too big. I hope it's not, you know, I hope it doesn't look gnarly or anything. But it's kind of weird because I can feel it. So I think I know how big it is. You know, the surgeon said approximately how big it would be, but I can feel it. And so basically for the last week, all of my discomfort has been centered around the scar. It hasn't been centered around the bone, which I find interesting. I had a nurse tell me that that made sense, because there's obviously a lot more, or I don't know, I guess it's not obvious to me, but there's a lot more like pain receptors around your skin rather than in the bone. But the bone part really is not bothering me. Now that could just be because I'm obviously putting no weight on it, and I'm wheeling myself around wherever possible, although I did use crutches to go to brunch with my family, because I don't think I should, you know, live in total seclusion. But anyways, I'm really enjoying this Sigma palette, by the way, but I don't have like my mirrors. It's just like, it's a process. Yeah, so I'm pretty uncomfortable. The scar feels very tight, and I just wish I could take like vitamin E oil and douse it on there, but I won't be able to do that till the cast is off. Yeah, and it feels very tight. Like I can feel it sometimes if I accidentally flex my foot a little too far, then the scar's like, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. But yeah. What else would I say about it? When I do put weight on it, it's at the point when it's like, you know, by accident, it's bearable, but not something that I'd want. And, oh, and I try to wiggle my toes at least every hour. I try to do it more often, just whenever I kind of think about it, I try to just give my toes a little wiggle because I do kind of get worried about them like all wrapped up in the cast, but they seem to be doing fine. So yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of what's going on with that. But I also wanted to share a little bit about accessibility. So I'll start by saying, like, some people need a wheelchair because they can't walk forever, right? I could use a, sorry, I'm just like, I could use a, like a crutch. I could not use a single crutch, that would be bad. I can use crutches, but it's just like, it's not fun. You know, like I used them when I went to brunch because all I had to do was walk from the car into the restaurant, and then I could immediately sit down. So that was like pretty tolerable for me. But I wouldn't want to be like going around my full day using crutches. I know that not everyone has the opportunity to have a wheelchair, but my view is that I have the opportunity. I have them in my parents' house. They are otherwise not being used, so why wouldn't I use them and just make my life easier? And you know, it makes me a bit of less of a burden. I mean, not that I should see myself as a burden, but you know what I mean? Like it makes me need less help from my family, so that way, like I don't need them to do every little thing for me. Like I can, for the most part, get myself a drink, and I can do a lot more things with the wheelchair that I wouldn't be able to do if I was using crutches. So I don't think that you need a wheelchair if you have a broken foot, but if you have that option, like why wouldn't you take it? And at least that is my view. Okay, so here's the one thing I will say about doing my makeup. I tried doing winged liner. Well, I did do winged liner for my little fun video about how I'm not in Dubai with Tarte, which by the way, I'm like not, there are no hard feelings about that. I have nowhere near the size audience that would merit a brand like Tarte, like taking me to Dubai. But maybe one day I'll go on a self-sponsored brand trip, aka maybe one day I'll like pay for myself to go there. I need to find this eyeliner though. I definitely miss my normal makeup setup. I kind of just have a bunch of things in this bag, which I don't think I'm gonna do a video about, here we go, here's my new eyeliner. I don't know, would you be interested in a video about the makeup I packed for my parents' place? There was no thought or intention behind it. I literally just grabbed a bit of everything and figured when I'm feeling up to it, I can wear some makeup. But I think what I'll do instead, we're going on a cruise in a little bit, and that'll be a lot more intentional. So maybe I'll do like a makeup I'm packing for my cruise. So this is a new eyeliner from MAC. It's the MAC Color Excess Glide or Dye in black. And this one is really good on the waterline. It's new, but I've been looking for sort of a replacement favorite ever since Marc Jacobs beauty brand stopped existing. So I think I'm just gonna do my tight lining, and I'm not gonna worry about a wing because, you know, I think one thing, obviously, like I'm not permanently mobile, it's like challenged, but I just think like risk and reward when it comes, you know, when it comes to the eyeliner, and I just don't see that ending well for me, if I'm being honest. So one thing I am trying to do is take all stick makeup products, and keep them in the bag. And I'm trying to keep like the palettes in there. I'm not doing the best job at it. But for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Lancome Lash Idole mascara. I think this one's really nice. I really enjoy this one. I feel like we might need some more blush. I don't know, we'll see how it all comes together. So, okay, in terms of mobility, so obviously I'm staying home for the most part. But at the same time, like being stuck inside with the same, you know, same four walls is not the most fun experience, especially for someone like me who's like a social butterfly and loves going out and seeing people and doing things. And you know, I mean, it's been very good for me from a shopping perspective because I haven't been able to do that. But I have gone out a few times, and one thing I've definitely noticed, and I knew this because you know, my mom has mobility challenges, and so we've definitely seen in the past like how much like a lip or a bump here and there can really impact somebody's mobility with a wheelchair. But I gotta say, it gives you like a whole new appreciation when you're the one in the chair. Like, you know, you hate having to have people like lift your chair, and so thankfully what I can do is kind of park it, stand up on my good leg, kind of shimmy forward on one, I'm like shimmying forward in one foot, kind of hopping myself along, and then you know, my husband or my dad or whatever can pick up the chair and move it forward for me. But it's like, it's not fun, it's awkward, you feel like you're inconveniencing other people, and it's just, it's not particularly enjoyable. So yeah, so I've definitely noticed and have a deeper appreciation for how big of an impact like a small lip or a bump can have. Even like when getting into a restaurant that's otherwise accessible, like there'll be like a little like kind of lip at the door, and it gives you, I think, a lot more appreciation for the mobility that, you know, I normally have, but also a strong reminder that, you know, the status quo is just not acceptable. And, you know, I'm lucky that this is only a challenge that I really have to face for, say, you know, a month maybe. You know, but so many other people have to face this challenge every day forever. So that's kind of one thing on my mind. And sort of stemming from that, I wanted to chat a little bit about, not about lip gloss, but about appreciating the mobility that we do have. And, you know, so I've been thinking, like, obviously I've had to put my gym membership on hold, and that's not fun because you know, I'm pretty good at going to the gym regularly. But, you know, I kind of, like a lot of people, had some fitness goals for the year, and it feels like I can't even begin to tackle my fitness goals until, I guess probably until March or April, which really, like, I find that really hard and disappointing. So yeah, anyway, so here's the final look, and then I wanted to share with you a bit of appreciation. So anyways, this is the final look. We'll get to appreciation in a moment, but right now what I really appreciate is just feeling more like myself, feeling pretty and bubbly, and like not feeling like a sick person. And I really didn't enjoy, especially the first week where I was basically living in like my husband's pajama pants, because they're the only pants because all my pants are like skinny jeans, or not skinny jeans, like leggings, like just like tight on the leg. But my husband's pajama pants have been the only things that have fit over my cast. So one of the first things I did when I realized I was gonna be in this situation, I ordered a flowy, stretchy pair of pants from NYX, just so that way I could like just look more like a normal person and not like a sick person. So yeah, anyway, so this has been, honestly, just feels good to kind of be taking care of myself and putting makeup on. But in terms of appreciation for mobility, it's definitely got me thinking. You know, we have the cruise coming up, so I'm a little bit worried. You know, so it's definitely given me an appreciation for the mobility that I do have, and, you know, in normal times, and it's kind of got me thinking. And one thing I want to do, whenever I'm out of this cast, I don't want to set the goal too high, but once I'm out of the cast and out of the boot and through physio, I want to set a like 10,000 step a day for like a month goal for myself, and just like go and walk in pretty places and just really just kind of breathe it all in. So it's kind of some of the things on my mind, but overall I think my recovery is going well. I think I'll know more tomorrow. You know, it's been kind of crazy, and I can't wait to sit down and film. And you know, I had so many videos that I wanted to use that time between Christmas and New Year's to film. So, you know, I'll need to find some time when I can really just sit down and kind of have the energy to produce the content. The other thing I found is like things are just a lot more tiring now, and I'm not sure why. But I just find that like I just need more time to rest and take care of myself. So I'm hoping also by the end of this that maybe I'll be rejuvenated. But anyways, thank you so much for watching and for all of your kind Instagram comments and DMs. And you know, I'm really just hoping that I'll be back to normal soon, and not sure how much content I'll be filming like this, but I do want to film, you know, here and there to give you guys updates and to share with my life. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.